Washington is the third to the oldest settlement in the state. We do have a lot of history involved in our little town. It was settled in 1720. By 1840, we had steamboats that came to Washington. As a matter of fact, there are 22 different steamboats. They were able to come into the Bayou Catawba because it was deep enough, but was very narrow. So a slip was built into the bank just before you get into Washington. Therefore, they were able to turn around or make access for another to come. You could leave from Washington and go from, can I do this? Go from Washington into the Atchafalaya on the southerly direction, enter into the Mississippi River and going to New Orleans, or you could go the northerly direction to St. Louis.
Okay.
And therefore, this here gave us a lot of opportunity to grow, because a lot of transportation was used coming to southern part of Louisiana, which at that time, the southern part of Louisiana was really the gateways to the southwest through all the little bayous that you see flowing here. We were able to prosper rather quickly during those days because we were able to export cotton, corn, molasses, almost anything as far as even eggs, which they would take anything that we could export. In turn, we imported things like materials and bananas and spices. But really the biggest part of it was people coming down into our community and getting our little town to be a very prosperous little town.
So was Opelousas, now, had that been established?
Not yet, because they were not on the river or the bayou as we were, but it was so close that eventually it's known that Opelousas was very active during those days as well. We did have a church here in Washington, and because of disrepair and not being able to keep it up real well, they abandoned the little church, and St. Landry Catholic Church was built. All of our records from Washington were brought to St. Landry Catholic Church. None of our church itself, just the records were brought there. We had hat shops, hotels, and at this very particular spot was the Polonsky Opera House. The Polonsky Opera House provided entertainment for the people that came into town. They amused themselves here, and not being able to go back as rapidly as we today can go, they were forced to stay over and sleep in some of the hotels and enjoy themselves in Washington. I hear there were minstrels, and almost anything that went on in the community was right here, graduations, etc. In the early 1900s, we had early 1900s, we had four blocks of Washington that was burnt. Something about a faulty stable attendant that left maybe a cigarette burning. But anyway, the Polonsky Opera House was one of the buildings that went down. The bricks that you see on the building here were the bricks that were on the Polonsky Opera House. It did not get rebuilt. This building was not built until, I think, the late 1900s. At that time, there was a program by the name of WPA that was put on to try to help workers. Yes, ma'am.
I know that.
And so that people that built this place. It housed the city hall for many years. Then we were able to move in. It's approximately 30 years or more that we are in this building. though in the near future we will have the police department station here, and we will get a new place, a museum. We have presently 7 bed and breakfast homes. We have Magnolia Ridge. It's a nice plantation home that has 3.5 acres of walks, hard surface walk. You can walk through gardens and actually go real near the home.
Where is that?
That is 4 blocks down on Deja. I will give you a map to show you. And a lot of people will come walk. It's open every day free of charge, and the grounds are so pretty. They want to take pictures and have little weddings, etc. on the grounds. Other than that, we have a lot of nice old homes that people do keep up very well. Very expensive to keep these homes.
Oh, I'm sure.
And we have the antique school mall that houses approximately 100 different dealers. So that's a big call for our town, along with the old steamboat warehouse.
We're going there for lunch.
You're going there tonight at 5.
Today,
At
right.
5. It's open at 5.
Oh, it doesn't open for lunch?
No, ma'am. No, ma'am. But we do have a coffee opera that is open. Probably
Okay.
find something there. Or at the antique school mall, they do have something that you may want to eat. But the atmosphere is just grand.
Oh, I bet.
At the Steamboat restaurant, and it piles up every night there. Many people enjoy the food as well as the atmosphere.